who don't think there's anything they can do. This movement that we're part of is a national movement against cuts to public services, against attacks on the vulnerable, against attacks on young people, particularly even attacks on elderly people. Although people say that the pensioners have not been affected, they have. Here in Milton Keynes, lunch clubs have been cut, vital services have been cut that affect pensioners. The amount of care that disabled people get, they get 15 minutes twice a day. If you are a disabled person, profoundly disabled, and you're sitting at home and you just get a visit twice a day for 15 minutes, can you even imagine what that might be like? Another part of the reason that we're here today is to talk about defending housing, defending council housing, defending housing that has been a right in this country for a very, very long while. It's also housing that generations of us have paid for. Our parents paid for it, our grandparents paid for it, and now this government wants to sell it off to private individuals and completely remove social housing from part of our society. This movement that's happening today in Milton Keynes is part of something that's happening all across the country. Before the general election, there were hundreds of public meetings up and down the country, bringing together hundreds, sometimes thousands of people coming together to say that they oppose not only what the Tory government believe in and say, but also what the other opposition or so-called opposition say they believe in. Or the Labour Party, who are refusing to challenge the Conservative Party when it comes to putting through welfare reforms in the House of Commons. It's an absolute disgrace that when they tried to pass through the welfare bill the other day, that a vast majority of Labour MPs didn't say we don't agree with that, they just opted out of the vote.
Shame! Shame on Labour!
Now there might not be loads and loads of us here today, but this movement across the country has brought together literally hundreds of thousands of people. On the 20th of June in central London, there are 250,000 people standing together from right across society. Poor people, rich people, people members of the environmental movement, the anti-war movement, people who believe that actually we can live in a better way and we can prioritise the way we use our resources in a completely different way. This is just the beginning of something, but we really need to build it. We need to come together and we need to say to people, actually, how do we want to live as a society? Do we want to live in a place where children are going to school hungry? Do we want to live in a country where bankers are getting hundreds of thousands, billions of pounds in bonuses, and yet we haven't got enough money to build decent housing and decent schools?
No, we don't!
We fundamentally disagree with the idea that aspiration, the idea of everyone wants to just get rich is the only way to live. The planet is in an ecological crisis. People in this country are suffering. People are going hungry still now. 1 in 5 children in Milton Keynes lives in poverty. So we want to do something about that. So today while we're here, let's talk to people. Let's have conversations with people about what the issues are that they face in their communities. We're also going to have a bit of fun. We've got some music. We've got Brother G's going to do some beatboxing for us and some poetry. I'm going to hand over now to someone else who's going to do a couple of poems for us. And this is a gentleman called Lionel. He's going to